talking Illinois high school football.
If your goals are as high as you talk about, tonight's the night you go out and just take one more step.
It's a view from the West.
And it starts right now!
Welcome into View from the West podcast. This is our bonus episode for the week of the state championships. Mitch, this is the second annual state championship UniView preview. So give the listeners a little taste of what they're in for here.
Okay, so self-proclaimed only podcast that does this, right?
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all 8 games from Class 1A to Class 8A. And we're going to break down the uniforms of each team, Greg. We're going to go through the colors, the set, the designs, things like that. Everything that
Mascots are important here.
Mascots, pride stickers, the whole bit, because we're a big fan of aesthetics and how things look on the field. So we might as well compare the teams and then predict who's going to win the state championship based solely on who we think looks better, because that is the only type of data you need to predict a state championship.
That's absolutely correct. Now, if you're listening to this and you think, well, maybe I want some real football talk, we have a podcast for that. So the actual weekly show that we put out, the View from the West podcast, our traditional episode is also out there available. If you haven't heard that one already, it's an excellent show. We have head coaches interviews from Lena Winslow's head coach, Rick Aaron, and also their opponent, Camp Point Central's head coach, Brad Dixon. We break down, we analyze the Class 1A state championship matchup with Matt Schuckman from Muddy River Sports, along with Kyle Kampmeyer from NUICfootball.com. Dare I say, Mitch, there is no more in-depth research on Class 1A than what we did in that episode.
Yeah, I don't think so. No offense to any of the other crews that are doing their previews, but pretty confident with NUIC football and with Muddy River Sports. That's a pretty solid preview, and hopefully everyone gets as much fun out of listening to it as we did recording it.
Yeah, it's a great listen. I encourage everyone, if you haven't already heard that one, go out, listen to that one as well. So, Mitch, we're going to get right into it here. We're going to dive into the uniforms, Class 1A through Class 8A. We're going to start with the matchup that we're most familiar with in Class 1A. Lena Winslow, 13-0, going up against Camp Point Central, 13-0.
Yeah.
This is both number 1 seeds, the number 1 seed in the South, number 1 seed on the North. But let's get into the uniform talk here. What do we got for uniforms? Very fascinating matchup.
All right. Well, let me pause you here, Greg, because let's not overlook what happened going into this, the preparation for this episode, right? Because what you said is a good point. When you have 2 teams that are number 1, that gets into a little bit hairier in the larger classes. But anyway, so we put this together, and I had asked Kyle Kampmeyer from NUIC football on last Saturday, what the rule was with state championships, because I thought I knew, but I knew he would know. And he told me correctly, and I misread it. So what I thought was, and I was half right, was that I thought that teams from the North always were home.
Okay. And now basically at a neutral site, it wouldn't matter home team or away team. It would make the difference in what uniform you wear. So that's why this became important. Yes.
Right. That is halfway true, because that's how they do it in DeKalb when the state championships are held in DeKalb. And now that makes sense.
Yes.
So what I didn't factor in is that because this year is in Champaign, that flips, meaning the Southern or the South teams are the quote unquote home team. So I spent all day today with the wrong impression of what these teams are going to wear. And I compiled 16 images and created 16 sets of notes with wrong information. And it was about, 3 hours prior to us recording this podcast that I redid it all. And now we have it right.
Well, Mitch, your dedication to the pod is admirable. I applaud you. I give you hand claps. I love it. Thank you so much. To anyone listening to this podcast, if you're only listening, I do highly encourage you to go to YouTube, find View from the West on YouTube, and you can see this video because we're going to post along as we talk. We'll show images of the teams we're talking about. That's the only way. I figure this is a visual thing, right? We need to see the uniforms we're talking about. So you can go ahead and listen, but on YouTube, you can see what we're talking about. And that's the best way to follow along here.
Yeah. Now, what I would say too, Greg, is you might need to put like a disclaimer at the bottom that might say subject to change, because some of these teams have different, you know, a couple different variations, a couple different options. We don't know for sure what they're going to wear. We have a pretty good idea. Some teams don't vary from their home or away too much, but some teams have different colored pants, different options. So this really is our best guess, but we'll try and explain every option that they do have. And that way, whenever they play on Friday and Saturday, we'll at least talk about it.
And we should reference, like, we appreciate that. I love having multiple sets.
It's two sides of that coin, because yes, we enjoy it. Two, it makes it impossible to find pictures of it.
Okay.
Especially when they change, especially when teams change year to year, right? Because you could search, what was the one that I struggled with? Nazareth Academy is one where it seems like they have different uniforms every year, and they're all like kind of similar, but not really. So you almost have to search you have to find a game recap from one of their 2022 games to make sure that you're following along and have the right uniform. So, you know, it does take a lot of work to do this, but you know what? We love it. And as we said a couple minutes ago, we can jump right into it here with 1A.
Well, you know, truth be told, Mitch, 2 years ago when we started this podcast, the reason you came on to co-host with me for one episode was because I told you we'd talk about uniforms.
Yeah,
and we did that, and you've been here ever since. So
so that's, you know what, that was a good start. And this we don't do very many Uniview previews anymore, because we don't see new uniforms every single year. So this at least is a nice little tradition that we got going on. So let's get into it here, Greg. We got 1A. Top seeds here in the North, Lena Winslow; in the South, Camp Point Central. As I explained, Lena being the team from the North, they will be the away team. So Lena Winslow, the Panthers, once again making their state championship appearance. They'll be in their traditional black, gold, and white color scheme. New uniforms this year, Greg. I have no idea who makes them. I didn't know who made their last ones. So they've got some sort of vendor, but it's not. A lot of these teams that we'll talk about are Nike, Under Armour, Batavia is Adidas. I have no idea who Lena Winslow uses, but that's fine.
Well, you have your sources out there in Lena. You need to, start asking around.
Maybe I like not knowing. It's just one thing that has stayed the same though is that traditional Lena Winslow helmet, Greg.
Yep.
Black helmet. Obviously, the Panthers, I would describe it as the Kansas City Wildcat logo that they use for that Panther.
Yep.
Anyone who is either just listening to this knows what I'm talking about when I say Kansas State logo. So a black helmet with that logo. They do have pride stickers that fill out the rest of the helmet. For this game in particular, they'll be wearing their away whites. Very plain, Greg. This is a change from last year, where my complaint on the jerseys last year was and I don't know the word for it, I suppose, but like they were white and the numbers were white but outlined in black. So it was cool, but I could see from a broadcaster's perspective how that's very hard to tell whose number is who. This year they changed it up. White jersey, black numbers, no trim, nothing. It's very simple. They've got Lee Win written across the back template, which is unique. Not a lot of teams do that in general, but they've got Lee Win written across the back. Their pants, again, nothing major, solid black. So they used a little bit, maybe more gold in years past. Their home uniforms certainly have that, but not on their aways. It's a good look. It looks like a team that is all business, and that is what Lena Winslow brings to the field every single week. So, this is we've seen them in black in recent years, obviously with the championship teams being in DeKalb. So this will be a nice change of pace.
I just saw him wearing these white, what I'm assuming is going to be their white set. When they played in the quarterfinals against Fulton. Mm-hmm. And it is a different look than their previous uniform, in the fact that they don't wear all white on the road.
Right.
They used to wear all white on the road, whereas now they're wearing the white top with the black pants. So that is a different look. And obviously, just from a look in general, the numbers are a block number now, a very traditional number look. Whereas in years past, it was a little different font. And with the outline, the same color, or the number was the same color as the jersey with the outline being the accent.
Right.
This is a different look. But you're right. If Lena Winslow is kind of the Alabama of Class 1A football, this is kind of a more Alabama uniform, right?
Yeah, and I've gone back and forth which jersey I liked better. And again, I had my complaints against the ones that they used previously. But you know what? I like these. Again, it just states no nonsense, all business, and what better way to fit a Lena Winslow football team as good as they are. What they're going to be going up against is going to look pretty similar.
yeah, exactly. Let's get into it.
Yeah, the Camp Point Central the Camp Point Central Panthers are also going to be in their traditional black, gold, and white. They have a nice Under Armour set here. Helmet-wise, they go a gold helmet. They've got the black paw print, Clemson type of paw print. So they'll be wearing their home jerseys, being the team from the South. Black jersey, gold numbers with white trim. As mentioned, it's an Under Armour set. They've got a set of piping that kind of goes above the chest. I think it's both gold and white. Panthers written in gold across the chest, and then their pant will be solid black. So, if you were watching this game on an old school black and white television, you get the same effect as you would on a color TV. So, we talked about in the other podcasts how these teams kind of mirror each other in terms of style of play. It's going to look like an inter-squad game. It's going to look like a spring game, with these two teams aesthetically looking very similar.
So to any viewers that are going to watch this game in black and white, please reach out to us. I would say reach out to us on Twitter, but I'm not sure if you're watching on a black and white TV that you have Twitter, but
Right. That'd be the irony, right? That we get a picture or something of a black and white TV. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mitch, I guess we'll just, it's time to make predictions here. It's time to, pick our uniform.
Yeah.
I'll start with you in Class 1A, and then maybe we'll try to remember to rotate who picks first. So I'll pick first in Class 2A.
For the listeners, we joked that we did this last year, and we have no frame of reference for who we picked. Who did better. So we're actually going to write this down this time, so we are tracking it. So, I don't go against Lena Winslow much on the field, and you know what? I'm not going to go against them here either. Again, I like kind of what you said. It's an Alabama-y type of look where they're not going to try and do anything flashy. Not that Camp Point Central does anything flashy at all, but Lena just, pull the jersey on, let's play football type of thing. So I like how they simplified things a little bit from an already simplified jersey that they had previously. So and maintained their identity. So I like Lena in this one, and the Road Whites will be lifting the trophy on Friday morning.
Mitch, I won't go against Lena Winslow on the field, but I am going against them in the uniforms here.
I want to say I might have picked Carrollton last year because I really liked Carrollton's color scheme last year.
I think you did.
I don't know for sure, but okay. So
the reason being, Mitch, we've talked a lot about different teams having that Under Armour set, and the what Camp Point Central utilizes is one of the, I would say, more traditional Under Armour uniforms, where they have that striping along the shoulders.
Right.
Man, when it's done right, it looks really good. And Camp Point Central does it right. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's a good color scheme for that, for sure.
Now, I will say, if this matchup was flipped, if Lena Winslow was wearing all black in this game at Champaign, I may go different.
Okay.
But based on the Panthers of Camp Point Central being in all black on state championship day, I like that with the contrast of the gold helmet. I'm going Camp Point Central in this one.
Okay. It's a great look. It really is, especially when they are at home. So I have nothing against that pick. So at least we are separated and someone will win here.
Yeah.
in this matchup.
That's right. So, Mitch, we talk about Camp Point Central, Lena Winslow, both the Panthers, both wearing the same color scheme. We could not be any more different when we go into Class 2A. There's just, let's get into Tri-Valley, 11-2, the number 6 seed out of the north end of the bracket, going up against top-ranked, top-seeded Decatur St. Teresa, 13-0. This is a contrast in styles. I don't know about on the field, but in the uniforms, for sure.
Yeah, this is one that I wish Tri-Valley was home, because they have an all-black set that's really nice, but they are the away team here. The Tri-Valley Vikings, they come in with a blue, yellow, and white color scheme. I say that, but they throw in black. And this is where it also gets a little confusing too with Tri-Valley. That black uniform is Nike.
Really?
Their away uniform is Adidas, but only the jersey.
Okay.
Because their pant is solid blue, and it's Nike. I don't think they have a blue uniform that goes with that, so I don't know. But yeah, it's an Adidas top and a Nike pant. Helmet stays the same. It's a black helmet, blue stripe down the middle. Their logo is like a TV. The initials, not an actual black and white TV. TV initials logo. It's in yellow. That stays the same. And like I said, with the pants, traditionally when they're away, they wear those solid blue. But with that black uniform, they do have a black option as well. I've never seen it in any pictures. I don't know if they ever go that route, but they do have that if they wanted to. That black home set that they have, that is really sharp. And again, I wish that was what they were going to wear. It could be, who said they can't, but this one, again, it's kind of mixy matchy a little bit. But it was an interesting matchup in the semifinals with them and Maroa, because you had two teams who had a black, blue, yellow, and white color scheme. And you don't see that a lot in general. You saw two teams on the field doing it. So,
the question becomes, is there a chance that Tri-Valley goes with all black, even though they're the home team? They should be wearing white, but they could get away. They could do that if they wanted, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know if there's rules on that. I don't know if they have to wear a quote unquote white, uniform or away uniform. I really don't know. If they do wear that black, again, I really like that. That would look cool against St. Teresa. But let's assume that they're going to wear their away whites for this one.
Yep.
Again, you got to have that disclaimer, subject to change, because we really don't know.
That's right. Okay, let's talk about St. Teresa, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is a solid uniform. The Bulldogs from St. Teresa, blue, orange, and white. Think of a Florida type of team in terms of how they script themselves. Nike set. Their helmet stays the same. It's an orange helmet. It's got an interlocking S and a T in white, and it's got a white stripe down the middle with a blue outline. They do have pride stickers as well. We like that. Their top is traditionally at home. I think they have options. I could be wrong, but I think traditionally they go with a blue top. St. Teresa is written across the chest in in orange. White numbers with orange trim. And then I'm going to call it the cuff, Greg. And I'm going to point to my arm right here, because this is more shoulder. This is kind of cuff. So if I say cuff, it's kind of that area underneath the shoulder, on the side of your arm there.
Yep.
So they do have striping on the cuff, which is orange, blue, and white. It looks really nice. It's a really clean uniform. On their pants, it's usually white, but they have blue and orange options as well. So again, we'll see what they choose to wear. I haven't seen them in an all blue. I didn't see any pictures of them in all blue. So usually it's either white or orange. I guess if I had to guess, they would go orange in this game. So we'll see. It's a great uniform.
So you think they'll wear orange pants with the blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You said
which I don't think is the picture that we have showing right now, but you know what? I'm making it up as we go.
No, but that's okay though. That, like you said, subject to change.
Right.
When you said think Florida, how about also think East St. Louis, which is also a pretty good comp if you're going to be compared to anybody in the uniform game, or in the high school football
Yeah,
ranks.
when we get to East St. Louis, same color scheme. They have a lot more options. They have different helmets. They got a whole thing. So
They have
St.
different
Teresa-
helmets. Oh, that is
Yeah.
a tease ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So St. Teresa keeps it, traditional. Some options, but for the most part, you'll see a blue and orange color scheme.
All right. Well, Mitch, I'm going first here in
Okay.
this matchup.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I don't love either one of them. I just don't.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think my criticism of St. Teresa is no knock on them. I'm just not crazy about the blue and orange together. Just, I don't know. I don't love Florida's uniforms. I just, that color combo doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
On the opposite side, I think that Tri-Valley is so busy. Their uniforms are just so much color. And also their helmet logo being a TV in that bright black with like the gold, it literally looks like a cable access channel. Like that's what it, and no offense to them. I know that's their TV, that's Tri-Valley, but it reminds me of like, cable access and, maybe it's my background in television that leads me to that. But anyway, if I gotta pick here, I think I'll go St. Teresa.
Okay.
I'll go St. T on this one.
Yeah. If and I'm going St. Teresa too. If Tri-Valley came out in their all black set, I don't think I can retroactively change my pick.
Okay.
But it would make me think about it because it is night and day better than their away jersey.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would completely agree with that. Again, just the cable access channel thing. I can't get away from it.
I get it.
All right. So we agree in Class 2A. Let's move into Class 3A. IC Catholic, Williamsville. This is a tease ahead. This might be my favorite matchup of the whole of everybody.
Okay. And again, at least with Williamsville, they have two different options that they wear at home. So it'll be interesting to see what they wear. But starting off with the away team, the IC Catholic Prep Knights, traditional look. They've looked the same for years. Navy, gold, and white. It's an Under Armour set. Navy helmet, no logo, Greg. It's just a navy helmet.
Yeah.
They do have a stripe going up the middle. It almost looks like a sword, play on the Knights. At least it comes to like a point.
Yep.
But they do cover up the helmet with pride stickers, so it looks nice despite no logo. Jersey that they'll wear, white, gold stripes on the shoulder with navy outline. IC Catholic Prep is written across the chest in navy, and then there'll be white on their pants as well. So white, another gold stripe with a navy outline. They do have navy pants that they wear at home. I don't know that they wear that on the road very much, but they do have that option. But they don't, again, kind of like Lena Winslow, a little bit more style here, but they don't do anything fancy.
They should keep with the all white because it looks great. So now that being said, Williamsville looks pretty darn good themselves.
Yeah, if Williamsville was the away team and they wore their all white, that was a sharp look. That was a look that I again first had pulled up. So what they do, the Williamsville Bullets, they are purple, yellow, and white. Nike set helmet stays the same. It's a purple helmet. It's got a white W with a yellow outline, white stripe down the middle with yellow outline. Nice looking helmet. At home, they've got two options. They've got a black or a purple option. If they go black, they either wear that with black pants. If they go purple, it's either purple pants or white pants. So again, we'll see what they wear. Purple jersey really pops. White numbers and letters with yellow outline. On the cuff, they've got a yellow stripe with white outline. Black jersey is a little bit different. It's got bullets written across the chest in yellow, white numbers. It's got a blue collar and a yellow stripe on the cuff. A little busy, kind of goes into that the territory with Tri-Valley where it's trying to do a little too much, but it works when they wear it. And again, pants, they've got black or purple options. Also have white that they wear on the road. I don't know how much they wear it at home, which has a yellow stripe and a purple outline. So I think the picture I used for this that we have up is their black option.
Yep.
It's really good. All three of their uniforms work really, really well. sometimes it gets a little funny when you have, well, what was my rule, right? If you have a lighter colored helmet than you do a jersey, it can look,
Yeah.
it's a little off. And that's where they get into with that black uniform and a purple. Not a huge difference because both are darker colors, but if they wear purple, it's a really, really great look.
Yeah, this to me is the matchup. These uniforms are both very well done. Mitch, it's your turn. I think
Okay.
you're picking first here, but before I move on, I do want to call out the Williamsville helmet has almost like a metallic-y purple look.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a flat purple, which I think is a nice touch. It's a block W, kind of reminds me a little bit of Washington, which I'm always a fan of the Washington, like purple and gold type of scheme. They're more yellow, Williamsville is, but either way, it kind of reminds me of that. I do like, maybe it's the alumni, the Marquette in me that likes the gold and the navy blue, which would be more IC Catholic. But Mitch, I'll let you go first here. This is a tough one.
It is. Yeah, it is. I feel like I'm switching my pick every second that we talk about it, because I really do think that IC Catholic's just traditional look is a classic one. Again, don't get too fancy with it. It's all business. That's how they play on the field. But I think I'm going to lead Williamsville on this one. I like their options that they have. I'll be interested to see what they wear because, again, they've got options. I like the black option, but I think the purple one pops a little more. So we'll see. So two good options beats one. I'm going to Williamsville here.
For me, again, it comes down to the matchup of who's home, who's away. In this matchup, give me IC Catholic in the all whites.
Okay.
I love their all whites. And normally I'm not a fan of a helmet with nothing on it.
Yeah.
But pride stickers can go a long way, right, my friend?
You're right. And I hate to break it to you, but the next matchup, neither team has logos on their helmets. So
okay, well, we'll get there in a second. But
yeah, this you could flip a coin, and I could pick IC Catholic and be completely fine with that because I like what they have going on. If they were home, I think they'd be an automatic pick for me with the alt navy. But I like Williamsville's options that they have to play with.
I will also mention that IC Catholic's numbers, their numbers on their jersey, the font is a little different than what you normally see.
It's kind of like that sweatshirt you got on. It's kind of like that Northwestern Gothic-y type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what I will say is that can get very risky, right? When you start messing with fonts, you can find some really, some different looking fonts that also can be defined as ugly,
Right.
Like it can get bad real quick. But I think that font matches really well with what they have there. And I like it. I like the whole look. Again, it's an Under Armour set. And I think I just like what Under Armour puts out. So I'm going IC Catholic.
All right.
Well, let's jump in now. Class 4A, traditional state powers, Providence Catholic, Sacred Heart Griffin, but very different color schemes, very different looks here for two traditional state powers.
Yeah. And I texted this to you prior that Providence Catholic has gone through, I don't know how recently it was, but traditionally, and again, they have 10 state titles, and I imagine that they won most of them when they wore, it was a white helmet, green top, and a yellow pant. And no other team does that. And it on the outset, it
maybe Notre Dame back in the day, or
well
on their green jersey day.
Yes, the yellow is a little bit different. Obviously, the white helmet too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but you're on the right track there. So I don't know when they went away from that. I think it was recent because I'm pretty sure in the last couple of years, like if Notre Dame actually got some Providence Catholic kids in the recruiting class, I feel like I saw highlights where they wore those green and yellow. So whatever it is, or whenever that happened, they go away with it now. Now they're more white, green, and a little bit of black. It's an Under Armour set for the Celtics. All white helmet, nothing else on there, Greg. I've seen pictures, and this is again where it can get confusing sometimes when you're looking at pictures and trying to figure out what year it's from. I'm pretty sure it's all white this year. I've seen previous editions that they have like an interlocking PC logo in green on the helmet, or at least on one side. But again, from this year, I couldn't find anything with that. I could be completely wrong, but for the most part, it's an all white helmet. They will be the away team here, so it'll be a white top. Providence across the chest written in green. Numbers are in green too, and then they've got kind of a larger cuff area with that PC logo in it. And then their pant, traditionally they are all white. They do have a green option, and then they've got on those Under Armour pants. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of got that a horizontal stripe on the thigh almost. So it's kind of like a half stripe. It doesn't go all the way around the back, but so all in all, it's a pretty clean look. I could do without the cuff stuff going on the jersey, but again, not teasing my pick here, but I wish they would still do that green and yellow, because that was always a cool look, and you knew it was unique to them, right?
That was going to be my question to you is when you brought up both of them, which one did you prefer? Yeah. And when I look at it, I don't want to get too far ahead, but the green and white and black just doesn't pop as much. And especially if you have nothing on your helmet, I need more than a plain white helmet with a white face mask. I need more than that.
Yeah. I like their home greens. It's better. But again, and I might as well, because I've already said it, I'm going to pick Sacred Heart Griffin. It just doesn't. Providence Catholics just doesn't do it for me all that much. And again, I wish they stayed with what they used to have. Just because that when I think of Providence Catholic, and when I saw them that they were going to play in this matchup, that's what I thought I was going to find, and then it's not that way anymore.
Yeah. So, man, what happened to the interlocking PC on the helmet, the logo on the helmet?
No, I know. I don't know. Maybe it shows up Friday night. I have no idea.
I need to reach out. I have contacts that are, at least familiar with the program. So I need to find this out.
Tyler Plants is the head coach. He's a former Notre Dame guy. So, I don't know. Maybe he's going to try and bring it back. I have no idea.
Well, I have connections not that high up, but
I don't know him. I don't know who he is, but
I have family members that went there that I need to reach out, figure out what's going on there. But
we're gonna, if you haven't already in the YouTube video, we're gonna put up a picture of that too, just so you know what they used to look like.
Yep.
On the other side of the field, it's Sacred Heart Griffin. I couldn't tell you the last time they didn't have on what they're going to be wearing in this game. The Cyclones, black, gold, and white, traditional. Under Armour set. The helmet, it's solid gold. Black face mask. The front bumper says SHG on it.
Yep.
Jersey's going to be black. Cyclones on the chest, white numbers with gold trim. And their pants, traditionally at home, they go solid gold. They do have a black option too. I don't know that they wear that at home all that much, so I anticipate them to be wearing their typical golds. Again, it's your traditional look for the Cyclones. It's classic, no nonsense. They play that way. So, and one of my number one rules: if the helmet matches the pant, you're off to a good start. They do a good job with that here. So, it would be, even if it wasn't Providence Catholic, it would be hard to top Sacred Hearts for me.
Yep.
I just like it. It looks good on the field. They play fast. That's a nice color scheme when you play fast. So I'm going Sacred Heart here.
Okay, so last year we had Sacred Heart up against Joliet Catholic, correct?
Oh, yeah, that was if I remember, that was a tough one to pick.
And I think, did we both take Joliet Catholic? I know I did. I think I took Joliet Catholic.
I could see me doing either one. I appreciate. It probably came down to me appreciating teams that go brown and white, because not a lot of teams do it, and the teams that do it really well. And we'll talk about that with Mount Carmel later on. But yeah, that was a really good game to watch from a uniform perspective, to see both of those traditional uniforms on the field at once. So again, I'm going to take SHG here to redeem themselves from that loss last year and to win.
Yep. I'm going to take Sacred Heart Griffin as well.
Okay. All right.
This is a very Army look, right? When you start talking college football,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very Army color scheme when they when Army goes with their traditional looking uniform.
Let's talk about that for a minute,
Okay,
because
here we go.
Navy just displayed in recent years.
I saw this. Yep.
I'm
Okay, here we
shaking my
go.
head.
Here we go.
In recent years, they've worn newer alternate uniforms.
Yep.
And it either they are honoring a squadron or honoring a previous unit, things like that. They've gotten really, really good at doing that.
Yes.
Obviously, that one Navy helmet that was white and it kind of like split gold and blue, like that set off a chain reaction of helmet.
You're right. You're right.
But the traditionalist in me for that game, they have to wear their just normal uniforms. They just have to.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
so you're referring to the fact that Navy just announced they're wearing like a
it's a
NASA tribute.
Yeah. And now, no question about it, it's cool.
Oh,
Design,
yeah.
The design is impeccable. It's got like an astronaut floating through space on the one side, which again, super cool. Wear it against somebody else. In the Army Navy game, you know, I can deal with some of those alternates who are Navy specific, Army specific, but just please just wear your traditional uniforms. And that's my plug to the service academies.
All right. And someday, Mitch, you and I will meet up. We'll go to an Army Navy game together.
That's a bucket list thing. Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to go to a game one of these days, one of these years. I'm going to go to Army Navy and we'll go together. So,
yep, that works.
And we'll critique the uniforms the whole time.
Maybe to ourselves. Not,
that's true.
Not to anyone listening.
Well, no, certainly not. All right. We're going to move along. We're going to go to class 5A, Nazareth Academy and Peoria. This is kind of a contrast in styles uniform wise.
Yeah,
so let's get into it. The Nazareth Academy Roadrunners, maybe the best mascot nickname in the tournament here.
Yeah, I've seen they have a logo that's an N with like the UTSA Roadrunners, right?
Yep,
that type of head, Roadrunner
Yep.
head. But they don't use it on their helmets. But anyway, the Roadrunners, they're navy, Carolina blue and white, which I love. I mean, that already you're good in my book.
Yep.
Nike set. The helmet is a navy with just a plain white N on it. They will be the away team here. Their away jerseys are white with a navy blue collar. They've got navy numbers that are outlined in that Carolina blue. Nazareth is written across the chest in the Carolina. And then they've got a series of navy, Carolina, and white piping on the cuffs of their sleeves. The pants should be white with a navy stripe down the side. This is a newer look than they've had in recent years. If you go on the IHSA website on the football section and then click on, I think, state series, or maybe not click on anything.
Yep.
They're featured. They're the first picture that shows up in that slideshow. And that is an immaculate football uniform. That is a perfect football uniform. So they've deviated from that a little bit, not much, but a little bit. That version is awesome. This one is great. It looks good at home. They have a good home option too. But I was disappointed that they've deviated from it a little bit from that wonderful, perfect uniform that they used to have.
I love that when we saw on Twitter as we were going through things that Nazareth won, and you immediately responded with great uniform. Like great uniform. Knew it right away.
Yeah, still, but again, still my thought, but it's not as good as their old one. That's all.
Yeah. Mitch, let's get into the Peoria Lions. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, a lot going on here with the Lions. So, black, maroon, and white color scheme for Peoria. Nike set. I am glad they're home because it's a more unique look. So their helmet stays the same. It's a maroon helmet. Now, when I say Lions, think of the Detroit Lions, like lion head logo. That's what they have. It's kind of enlarged and it's black. So it doesn't show up as like great on a maroon helmet.
Yeah.
I think that would look really cool if it was like white or silver, but that's not my, it is my department, but I don't work for them.
So they haven't consulted you officially.
Right. So yeah, it's all in the details if you look close to the helmet. So then when they have their home jersey, it's black, Peoria written across the chest in maroon, which again doesn't show up the greatest, but and sorry, I got ahead of myself. They have piping across the chest that almost like goes in like a V.
Yep.
It's like a gray or a silver of some color. And then their numbers are kind of like what Lee Win used to do, where it's a black number on a black jersey, but it's outlined in white. So,
and there's almost like a stripe across the numbers too. Have you noticed that? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. The pant is maroon with a thick black stripe going down the side, and it says Peoria Lions on the inside, which is a big no-no for me. I do not like that at all. I never like it when teams have their nicknames on or whatever it is.
Yep.
Going down the side of their leg. I just don't like that at all. I love the color scheme. I think it'll look good on the field. It's like somewhat similar, but not as well done as Kankakee, right? Like Kankakee is the standard when it comes to that.
They were great. Yeah.
So this is a little bit different, and it'll look good on the field, but for my personal uni rules, it breaks a lot of them. So I will just jump right ahead and pick Nazareth in this one. I am a sucker for that color scheme. I think it looks really, really good on the football field. And when they're all white, as they will be on Saturday morning or early afternoon, it'll look really nice on the field.
Yeah. Mitch, I love the aggressive nature of Peoria's offense. I love the story that they're going to outscore you, and they're aggressive. Their jerseys, their uniforms are equally as aggressive. I'm going Peoria high on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Lions look. Now, I will say, normally, traditionally, I agree. I don't love the pants. I don't love the striping with wording on the pants.
Yeah.
But I think it works for them. I like it on this uniform.
It works in that they have to wear them, but
oh, here we go. You're wrong. It works. It looks really good. And also, I know, like, here's the thing: is everybody, you get critiques on the maroon doesn't show up on the black, and the black doesn't show up on the maroon helmet, and whatever. But man, I think that's all part of it's an aggressive look. It's just, I do. I like it. Actually, I really like it. I like what they've done.
Yeah, maroon's one of my favorite football colors, right? I've always talked about how much. So I've always talked about how much I like Stockton. We'll talk about Prairie Ridge is kind of maroony. I guess I would call that. Loyola Academy, Moline, right? Traditionally, teams that like kind of just go maroon and white. I love that. I have rarely do you come across that sort of combination where I don't like it. Rock Ridge, another one. So, as you said, it's aggressive. It's fine. But I like the blue of Nazareth. So I'm going to go with the Roadrunners here in this matchup.
I will wrap it up by saying that for as much as I've picked other teams because they have that traditional Under Armour set that we've seen a lot that looks really good, I'm giving Peoria credit that they're doing something different, and I think it makes them stand out. They look unique. I like it. All right.
That's fair.
I'm going Peoria.
Fair.
All right. 6A, Prairie Ridge in 6A up against East St. Louis. Again, a little bit of a contrast in looks here with a lot of different colors going up against each other.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is probably my favorite matchup of two teams.
Okay.
Maybe not individually. One is better than the other, but just the game in general. So let's kick off with Prairie Ridge here. The Wolves will be the away team. They're maroon and white. Nike set here. Their helmet is white, maroon stripe going down the middle. It's got a PR logo on one side. And Greg, it's
big, right?
It's huge. I can't tell if the inside of it is like either white or metallic, because sometimes depending on the angle of the picture, it'll show up darker. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There could be something going on there. I've also seen where they've made that like a U.S. flag type of thing. So they must have different stickers that they can put on there. But traditionally, it looks just white. And then they've got the wolf on the other side. And when I
Yep.
say wolf, think of the Minnesota Timberwolves type of wolf.
Yep.
So they've got that kind of dual logo going on their helmet. It's a maroon face mask. It's a cool helmet. There's no doubt about it. I do like their home uniforms better than their road ones, but their road ones are clean. They're white, maroon numbers and letters, wolves written across the chest. They've got some sort of logo on the collar there. I couldn't make out what it was, if it's the wolf or if it's a PR, whatever it might be. And then they've got a maroon stripe on the cuff. And then they're going to be all white pant. They've got a dual maroon stripe going down the side. They do have maroon pants that they wear at home. Not sure if that's an away option for them, but wouldn't be surprised if they did. But if they go all white, it's a clean look. It's really nice.
Yeah, I like their look. I was impressed with their look when I've seen it, obviously covering Tyler Vasey, watching what he's been doing. We've been seeing photos of him and the team throughout the year. I'm the helmet though, like I'm not a fan of different things on each side.
Right.
I really don't like number on one side, logo on the other, or we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, right.
But this seems even more than that, where you have like two different logos on each side. Like, I don't know. The wolf seems like a really great logo. Kind of stick with that, especially if there's a little metallic in it. But
see, I like the PR logo, and I thought just up until like an hour before we did this, when I did a final check, that I realized that they had a wolf on the other side. So I like the PR logo. I think it's cool, and I thought that that's all that they had. So I'm with you. It's a little bit different when you have two different ones. It's fine. It's not too bad, especially when you're only mixing two colors. But I hear what you're saying.
Wait, but the funny thing is, I only thought they had the wolf logo on both sides,
Right.
And you only thought they had the PR on both sides,
right?
But here's neither of those logos is like offensive. They're not bad necessarily, So
right, like you said, if it was a wolf on both sides, great. If it's a PR on both sides, great.
Yep.
So maybe there was two guys like us trying to decide, and they said, you know what, I'm gonna take the right side, you take the left side. You never know.
Yeah. All right. So what's on the other side of the coin here? East St. Louis.
A lot. Okay. Again, this is where that disclaimer should like pop.
Is this our Oregon Ducks of the IHSA?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so the Flyers from East St. Louis, blue, orange, and white. That's traditional. It's a Nike set, but I should say it's sets because they have all sorts of different options. I saw so many pictures, and I thought they were all from this year. Where they've got, let's go traditional. What I see the most is a blue helmet, orange stripe with the white outline. It's got like a white circle on both sides and an orange F inside of that circle. Now, I've also seen orange helmets, and I've seen white helmets.
Really?
On the orange and the white, one side has that F, and the other side has Flyers written on the side.
Okay.
Again, I don't know how often they wear them, if they even wear them this year. No clue. Now, that kind of goes with the jerseys and the pants too, because they have all sorts of different ones. Traditionally, and that's the picture that we have, is a blue jersey, white numbers, orange outline, orange pipe with a white outline on the shoulders. It's a great look. That's fine. They've also got uniforms that are all orange. They've also got an all gray option. So that one looks a little different. But sometimes they wear a blue jersey with gray pants. That does not look good at all. But it's hard to say what they're going to show up with on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon because they have options. I can't remember what they wore last year. They were away last year, so they had their white jerseys on. I think they probably wore their orange pants. But again, I've seen so many pictures from East St. Louis that they just have different options. If I had to guess, I'm going to say they'll go blue on orange with their blue helmet. I think that's what they'll do. But it will not surprise me if they show up in all gray.
So the blue helmet is reminiscent of it's a Florida type of F, right?
Right,
Florida
yeah.
Gators have had that F over the years.
Yeah, or like a Cal State Fullerton F. Yeah.
That's the exact one. Yep, you're right. That's the exact kind of style. Yep. But then their Flyers is almost like a Gators type of script.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bubbly type of, like a cloudy type of thing. Great logo. Their Flyers logo is awesome.
Okay, you tweeted that out right in the matchup.
Right.
And I had never seen that before.
I don't know how often they use it, but they use it for sure.
Yeah.
Or it's either that or that F, but I have seen that Flyer logo. They should use it all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I'm a little, old school or traditional, or high school kids want to wear something more aggressive, but man, that Flyer logo looks pretty cool to me. But
they do enough damage on the field. They should wear something fun. So
okay,
again, without knowing what they're gonna wear.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup.
If they had that traditional, like I said, blue helmet, blue and orange, it's a great look. If they come out with like an orange helmet and all gray, I will not like it whatsoever. So
yes,
because of that, and because of my love for all things maroon and white, going with Prairie Ridge here. Full disclosure, I don't think they're going to win the game, but they will look better. They will look better here on Saturday afternoon. So I'm going Prairie Ridge and Tyler Vasey to look nice on the screen.
But what about Tyler Vasey running for like 1,000 yards in one game, and then
they'll look great. He looked great. He looked great doing it the last couple of weeks. So nothing would change on Saturday if he did it again.
Man, Mitch, I'm really torn on this one. Like, I literally, as you wrapped up, I did not have a decision made yet. And and
again, it's hard not knowing sometimes.
Yeah.
When you have teams that have options, because the Flyers have good options, but I've also seen pictures. I've seen proof that they don't always do the right thing.
I think, I was trying to remember what I did last year, and I think I went Cary Grove.
I think we went Cary Grove
because they were Penn State, and it was such a solid look, and they kind of fit that. It's hard to do that in high school because you have to have that program. Cary Grove has the program to do that, so they made it work well. I'm going to go Prairie Ridge as well.
Okay,
just because what I've seen in their helmet. I think they have a little like metallic in the wolf, and it's a cool. They have two good logos. I don't love both on each side like we talked about, but they do have a cool look. And again, maroon and white usually looks pretty good, especially when you throw in that little metallic trim. So I'm going Prairie Ridge on that.
All
right, here we go. Class 7A, Mount Carmel against the number 18 seed Batavia. Mount Carmel 13-0, Batavia 10-3. Let's get into the matchup here.
Okay, so this is where it flips, right? In 7A and 8A, because they do their seeding differently.
Oh.
Where they go 1 through 32. Now it becomes the higher seed is the home team.
Wow, Mitch, you are all over this. I love it.
Lucky. No, I got lucky doing this because I was still going by the team from the north as the home team. This I got lucky on.
All right, well.
But Mount Carmel being home, the Caravan, one of my favorite looks. That's a tease. One of my favorite looks in the IHSA. Brown and white, traditionally, they've got some yellow trim that they work with from time to time. Nike set. Helmet, it's been the same forever. White helmet with a brown interlocking MC. I think it's vertical. I think it's M and a C underneath it.
Yep.
It's been like that forever. At home, they have a maroon uniform with white numbers. Nothing fancy. Dual horizontal stripes on the cuff, which are white. Pants, they've got options. So again, hard to say what they will wear for sure. Traditionally, I think they wear white, but they have brown and they have that yellow option that they do play with. I did see that they did that this year.
Okay.
It's not the greatest look, but they do have it. Each pant has a stripe down the side with a corresponding color. If it's just the maroon or brown, sorry, I probably said maroon, meant brown. Brown jersey and white pant. I love that look. It's just great. So I think that's what they'll have on Saturday night.
Now, Mitch, I will ask you, because you've gotten critical over the years of different uniforms.
Mhm.
It appears that the stripe on the pants is really thick. It's one thick stripe,
Yeah.
whereas the stripes on the shoulders or on the cuff,
Yeah. It's got to
different.
match. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to knock them a little bit on that, right?
A little bit. I think if
Now, in this look that the picture on the screen right
Yeah.
now does
Yeah.
not bother me.
right.
But I know what you're saying, and that's why I called it out, because I want to get you on guard here.
Yeah, I want to know how that happens. Like, who's designing these things and thinks that that's a good idea?
It doesn't bother me in this sense, but I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get it. Maybe it's the brown and white that it doesn't bother me in this color scheme.
What
Other
yeah,
matchups,
what gets me more is when you have like, and I think East St. Louis or St. Teresa is guilty of this, where they have like an outline, or it's like their number is one color, outlined
Yeah.
by another, and then it's the opposite on their shoulder. So if it's like an orange number and a blue trim, they do a blue stripe with orange trim, so it's flipped.
yeah,
They should all be uniform in a uniform. Same thing with pants. That's where you normally see the distinction, is if the pants have a different stripe and outline than either the numbers or the shoulders, and that screws it up entirely. So, or if you have stripes and then just a solid, I'm speaking to Rock Island. If you have
I knew you were going there.
if you have stripes on the shoulders, but then a solid down the pant, like, come on, no, that's no. So yes, you are right. Where if it's a different size, different thickness, I take issue with that. I don't with Mount Carmel. Maybe it's the color scheme,
But it
Maybe
works, right? I was gonna say,
I might be blinded by the Caravan just because I like them so much, but
yeah.
maybe the color scheme has something to do with that more than anything.
All right, well, let's talk Batavia, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs from Batavia, red, gold, and white. An Adidas set, the first Adidas set we have, and the only one too. Helmets stick the same. Red helmet with a gold. It's a paw print, which I don't know that I see a lot of Bulldogs teams with a paw print. It's like the Clemson paw print, the same thing that Camp Point Central has. I mean, it makes sense. It clearly makes sense.
Yeah,
But it's gold stripe with a black outline on the or going down the middle of the helmet. They do have pride stickers as well. They are the away team, so that might narrow their jersey down to white. If they were home, they got all sorts of options. So I'm going to guess they wear their white jersey. It's got red numbers with gold outline. It's got Batavia written across the chest. In the pants, that's where they have options. They've got a red option, which I think they traditionally wear on the road. They've got white, and they've got black, because they've got an all black uniform set as well that they like to wear. They've done all options on the road, so it's hard to say, again, what they're going to wear. I think they wore white on red in the semifinals, so whether they do that again or whether they change it up, that's the picture that we have on the screen. Hard to say, but again, they do have some options that they do like to play with, so subject to change again with Batavia.
yeah. Mitch, before I give away my pick, just the red, the darker color red with yellow and black, it just doesn't work for me.
So Greg takes Mount Carmel.
Well, you know what I mean. The helmet alone, there's a black stripe on it with yellow and red, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, and when they do that all black set, and then you contrast that with the red helmet with it, it's just kind of like, okay, why do we do this? Like,
okay, a few years ago, Rock Island did that. Rock Island had all black, and it didn't work for me that way either.
It works for them on the basketball court because you're not messing with a helmet, right? You're just
absolutely.
I like a black uniform with a red and yellow color scheme, but when you mess with the helmet that's a different color, that's where it comes into play. So I like Rock Island's basketball uniforms when they do that, but on the football field, it didn't look as good. So we'll see. Maybe they surprise us. They could go all white. Maybe that'll look a little bit better. I'm going to guess they wear red pants, though, just to contrast that a little bit differently from Mount Carmel. But in the end, I think I'm speaking for you two. We're both going with Mount Carmel here.
Yeah.
And truth be told, any team in this matchup against Mount Carmel would be tough for me to beat because I'm such a fan of what they do. Joliet Catholic, teams that just had that same look for years. I'm a sucker for it. So yeah, Jordan Lynch and the Caravan are not only going to win the game, I think, but are going to win the uniform matchup too.
Yep. All right, Mitch, we have one class left, Class 8A.
Yeah.
But I should also remind you, get ready to pick your best uniform of the whole thing, right? Last year, we both picked our best uniform of all the sets we saw or that we plan on seeing in the state championship. So
yeah,
be prepared for that.
Okay.
In Class 8A, we have Lincoln Way East 13-0 up against Loyola Academy at 12-1. Lincoln Way East, the Griffins, theirs is an interesting logo.
Yeah.
Logo, not necessarily featured in the uniform.
Right.
But
that's
a weird looking logo.
Yeah. I guess it's a traditional Griffin logo. You just don't see it traditionally, type of thing, right?
Well, what is a Griffin?
I don't know.
Here we go.
Some sort of monster bird. I don't know. But yeah, like you said, I don't know how much they use it. They certainly don't use it on their football helmet anyway. So Lincoln Way East, black, blue, and white Nike set. Really, really sharp uniform. I'm glad that they're the home team because I really like this look. All black helmet. So their logo is East spelled out.
Yep.
It's in blue. It's a little bit of a lighter blue. You could call it royal, I guess, royal blue. Blue stripe with a white outline up the middle. Pride stickers. Jersey, solid black, blue numbers with a white outline. East is written across the chest in white, so that pops out. I like that when that has that little bit of a distinction there. Solid black pants. So I don't know if they have white or blue pants that they wear on the road. This was a hard team to research for, so I'm glad that they're the home team. And the picture that we have is from their semifinal game where they played in the snow. And this is a really nice uniform that pops out in that sort of environment. So, yeah, I'm a fan. This is a very, very clean uniform.
Yeah. So the all black look, right, in the snow, that looks really good. And Mitch, we have an update.
Okay.
According to Google, when you Google search what is a griffin, the griffin is a legendary creature with the body, tail, and back legs of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. So there you have it. That is a griffin.
Well, I said monster bird. That's about the same.
You got pretty close. So yeah, I like the all black. Do we think they're wearing all black? We have that. So. Okay, that's a pretty good look. But what do we have in Loyola Academy? This is, they're another iconic type of team in IHSA football.
Yeah, another team that is automatically really high in my book. So the Ramblers from Loyola, maroon and gold. Under Armour set. Helmet has stayed the same for a while. It's a maroon helmet with an interlocking LA in gold. Their jersey has the least amount of frills of any, maybe Lee Win. But Loyola Academy is pretty simple. So white uniform on the road, maroon numbers and lettering and stripes, I should say. So it's white with maroon everything else on it. Pants, same thing. White, maroon stripes down the side. No trim on anything. The only gold is in the helmet. It's simple, and I love it.
Mitch, I think you just called out the most important point. There's no trim on the jersey, but the helmet has the gold logo.
It's just that little bit.
I think that is what separates it for me. If I'm making this pick, so if I'm going first, I'm taking Loyola here. And it's tough because, the Griffins, they don't look bad. It's not a bad look.
Yeah.
But I do love that. Yeah. That little subtle difference. Are you still torn? You haven't picked yet?
No, I'm looking at our picks to see how many we have different, because I think we agreed on 4 of them. And this would be either either we agree on 5 or we disagree on 4.
Okay.
But again, I am such a sucker for
Yeah.
the color scheme that I am going to go Loyola on this as well. I don't know what Lincoln Way East away uniform looks like. I don't like Loyola's home uniform as much as I like their away, because they wear a maroon top and gold pant, and the striping gets a little bit different. But I think that their all white uniform just looks really, really good. And this will be a fun uniform matchup to close out the state championships this year.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we've called them all out. Now we have to make our pick of the best uniform heading to Champaign on Friday or Saturday. Do you want to go first?
No. I'm going to give you that.
All right. I will take a look here. I like IC Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mount Carmel. I also do like Loyola Academy. This is, but then I get into the smaller schools, and Camp Point Central in their Under Armour set, which I love, looks really good as well. Because I'm a fan of an all white set. I think I'm taking IC Catholic.
Okay.
And that kind of surprises me. I did not think I would go that way when we started this, but that's where I ended up.
Okay. I'm between two. The one that was well known in Nazareth.
Yep.
And then Loyola Academy. And I think my bias towards the maroon look is going to set me over Nazareth. Although, again, if Nazareth had their old uniform, I think I would pick them hands down every time. Just a really, really big fan of Loyola's away look. Again, with very, very simple look and just that little bit of trim of gold in the helmet just sets it over the top. So I'll go Loyola here, and I got to wait till the very last game to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. I'll be watching it anyway, so it's fine.
So, all right. Well, Mitch, this year we'll actually have to watch and pay attention to our uniform picks and how we end up, because I don't think we never rehashed it last year.
Yeah, I don't remember what we picked, but I remember, was it every team in 1 through 6A, all the North teams won?
Yeah, because you might be right.
It was Lena, it was Wilmington, it was Byron.
Yep.
It was Joliet Catholic.
Yep.
Who was 5A? 6A was Cary Grove.
Yep. I'd have to
it pulled up.
I don't have it pulled up immediately, of course.
I can get it. Hang on. Because I want to remember this. 5A last year. Oh, was Fenwick.
Yep.
Fenwick was home.
So were they technically they were technically the North team.
Yeah, because they were still 5A and they were the home team over Kankakee. Fenwick versus Kankakee was a great uniform matchup.
Absolutely.
So then we knew 6A. 7A was Wheaton North, who was also in home colors. They were still the North team, but they were also the higher ranked team, because that's how it works in 7A. And then in 8A, it was Lockport. All of the teams wearing home colors last year won.
Wow, that. How about that uni note to end this podcast, huh?
Yep. Yeah, that made our 8-team graphic, because I think we made one.
Yep.
With when they're all holding up the trophies, they all had home jerseys on. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we will see how it all shapes out.
Yeah. Mitch,
I'm excited to watch a lot of high school football, a lot of IHSA football back in Champaign.
Yeah, we joke a lot about this episode that we have fun with and picking games based on uniform. Obviously that doesn't always play into it, but it sometimes might. But yeah, this is going to be a fun weekend of football. Obviously for our teams, we've got Lena Winslow in it still, but even if we didn't have a team to cover, it's been such a fun weekend for as long as we can remember, as long as we've been covering football. We always look forward to it no matter who's playing. So going to be fun in Champaign because we don't really know what's going to happen in years next where they have the games. So be really, really cool here and looking forward to it.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you to everyone who listened to this episode. I hope you all enjoy uniforms as much as Mitch and I do. If you're still listening, I'm assuming you like them a little bit. You're at least interested. So,
yeah.
So thank you to everyone who listens, and join us next week. We will be doing a recap of obviously who won the games, whether they matched our uniform prediction or not. And, we'll break down a lot of the Class 1A game in particular, but we'll talk a little bit about all the games because, by the end of the year, we kind of have talking points on all of them, right? We've been following along with everybody in some way or another. So, thank you to everyone who listens, and we will talk again next week. All right, there we go.